All right, let's break it all the way down here. Okay. All right. The numbers game. 1 plus 1, 1 minus 1. It started out being sales, but the more I thought about it, the more I kept developing it, my mind, I was able to see that um, it's keeping tabs, it's tracking. How many people can you keep tabs on in your mind? How many people can you track? You know, it's the same reason why people. It's the same thing. You can see it when people watch YouTube videos and they'll watch them, but they won't like them. They won't subscribe. Somebody will look at a Facebook post and they'll feel like if they click like or on an app or if they click like on something they see, that's adding credit. You feel me? Like that's something. If they just click like, it's just easy to do. But some people won't do it, and that's just because they don't want you to track them. It's it's all about time spent. You know, and the way that currency is being marketed today is in dollars, but it's actually time spent. It's currency, and the time is ticking away. You know, and what did you spend your time on? Like whatever you did yesterday, that's how you spent your time. And all that can be monetized. Even with access. You can say, how can you monetize air with your access to it? You can put somebody in a place where they can't breathe, and then you could monetize access to breathing. You can't bottle air, but you can monetize the access. So whatever they did yesterday, you can just say no to it. And then say, in order for you to do it, whatever you did, yesterday, you're going to have to pay me. And if you can't pay me, work to make the money to pay me. That, and that whole slavery system. But however a person spent their day, and whatever a person does spend their time on, is what they will pay for. Is what they will give you money to do again, or whatever, what they'll work to do again, whether it's be with their kids, whether it's be with their woman, or smoke weed with their girlfriend. I've ran around all day just to find a cigarette to smoke with my girlfriend that wanted to smoke. I'm the man. Let me go get it. So there's three rings. Celebrities take up a lot of that mall space. You'll see their picture. People who put money into putting their picture up on walls a lot. On the outer, just when you drive by, you see their face a lot on things. Like that's the show part. That's the first ring. That's the mall area. If they right when you walk into the mall, and even maybe outside the mall, you may see their advertising for their store a lot, or their picture a lot, of hey, come to my store in my mall. They may not get no business. Nobody may buy nothing. But but on that first outer layer, there's really something. That's what I was saying. Like the Andre 3000 cat, he's really big on the outer layer, but like there's no content. You don't want to follow him. You don't want to keep track of what he's up to, but he's everywhere. so so that's what I'm saying. Well, I don't, but but I'm saying if you wanted to look into him, I assume, you know. But anyway, if somebody puts a lot of effort into having a presence just throughout the mall, whether you fuck with them or not, you like them or not, you shop in their store or buy from them or not, you spend time thinking about them or not, they're all in the store, They're trying to get you to come to their store to buy from them. That should be the point. So, but it's all about, your mind, how you spending your time in your mind. And you're spending it in three ways at all times. You're thinking about the mall in general, all the stores in there. Some people just like going to the mall and walking around because they can do it. And then you don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to walk into any stores. You can just fucking walk around. And you can walk in and out of all the stores. So some people really thrive in that first ring of where it's a bunch of people and don't nobody really know each other, and they like it like that. They like browsing, not being invested, not saying, how are you doing, not taking time to get to know nobody, just browsing. The looking, And then the learning, that's the dating. The dating phase. That's the getting to know people. Hey, how are you? Oh, well, hey, what's your name? Well, don't rush me, That's that. And so some people flourish and maybe they say, hey, I'm going to go to the CD store. I remember when CD stores were in the mall. And they may have $10, but they may spend all day reading different covers and trying to figure out which one they're going to buy. They walked right past the mall experience of walking around the mall and looking at people and stores and laughing and just being a nobody, right? They went past that phase. They went right into the store. But they didn't go directly to getting what they wanted and leaving. They hung out in the store for a long time, reading covers and learning and learning and learning. And they may not even bought that. So I'm trying to show the three layers existing, and that they don't all blend together, that they all are harmonic. They all exist side by side, and the people's consciousness goes in and out of all these different three. Somebody can just go to the mall to love to go to the mall, like people love going to Walmart. That first ring exists where they don't really, they plan on buying it, and they may have money, but they don't really aren't there to shop for nothing. They just like the environment of motherfuckers walking around Walmart. They like looking. That's the looking phase, They like looking. They like that part. They don't want you to say hi and get to know you. And you can tell because they don't want to say hi and get to know you. That means they are enjoying looking at you. They don't want you to know them, So the second part is the learning part, where you can say hi, and if people are glad you said hi and how are you doing, because they're ready to learn about you. Um, I went into this store and this girl was looking at me. She was real happy to see me, and she was like, hello. And I was like, well, I know what's next. Is learning. She's seen me. She's looking at me now. She's gonna try to get to learn about me, but I don't want to get to know her because I was dating somebody at the time. I was like, so I'm not gonna try to learn, and I'm gonna block her from learning about me. So I would not make eye contact, turn away, go the other way, stuff like that, just to prevent her from getting to the learning part, you know. So there's a looking, there's a learning, and then there's the loving, and that's when you're thinking about them, in your mind, or doing things with them, and that doing things is the time spent. That's the real life. That's the life tickets. You're spending is the time spent, and that's in love. The time you spend with things is loving them. Whether you have a love-hate relationship where somebody's trying to force you to think about them, or force you to do shit with them, or force you to be with them, or force you to fucking stay with them, you thinking about this motherfucker all day. You thinking about this situation all day, but you don't enjoy it. So it's a challenge. It's a battle. It's a struggle. You hate it. You know, you hate how you spend your time. So you trying to not spend your time like that. It's an obstacle. But how you spending your time is the value and the joy you're supposed to. That's what you love. You loving it. That's why, like, these pedophiles and people who molest people, like, if they can be all in your face and get you to even hate them in private, that's really how you spending your time. When you think about that, you're like, that's currency. Like, you're buying that experience with the time you spend on it. That's why bullying works, and that's why, like, the what is that? Fucking Parkinson's, something, where the kidnapper kidnaps you and then you end up loving them. That's why all that shit works, is because time is being spent as love, and the love is the attachment to life. That's what makes us bite into life deeper, is that love, that depth of time that we're spending. If you're just looking a lot with your time, that's not a deep bite. If you learn a lot, that's not a deep bite. If you doing actions a lot, that's the loving part. That's a deeper bite of life. That's the deepest bite you can take. So if you get real good at the doing, or the doing part, and not the listening and learning, that's you're gonna be having a better bite of life. But I was just emphasizing this again, is because people advertise and they be in your face all on the media, and it's really they trying to get your love. They want you to spend, not the money, they want you to spend your life with them. And they either want to keep you in that first ring to where you're always thinking about them and they don't even know you, but they want you to. They want you to think about them in that first ring. They don't want you to get to know them. And this is true if you listen to what I said earlier. I've went places and I've prevented people from getting to know me. So, but if they don't look at me at all, I'll feel bad. So I might want her to keep looking at me until I can push her into that next spot. So that's what I'm trying to say. These three rings exist, and the first one is the person that you see. The second one is the person that you know, what you know about me, and the third one is the things that you've done with me, and the things that you're doing with me. So all those things exist, and these people in the news or celebrities, they may want to keep you in that first ring to where you're always thinking about them, but they don't even know you. And in their real life, they may not even watch TV or watch the phone or nothing like that. So they may actually prevent themselves from ever getting to know who you are, and they may plan it that way. And when you try to get to know who they are and make them a part of your real life, even though they're bombarding your brain with, hey, I'm this and that, hey, this is what I think, hey, this is what I think, and then you go to say what you think and the comments are off. So that they don't care what you think. That's the point. They want to build this big audience, this big people who know their name, but not them. And so that's proof that what I'm saying is true, is that these three realms, rings, because they, I guess, go in a circle, they exist all simultaneously, but harmonically, because you can go in and out of them and you can shift. Like I'm saying, we all know people who just like going to Walmart, who just want to walk around the mall, Kids, yeah, I want to go. You want to go to the mall? Oh, I ain't got no money. I don't need this motherfucker. All right, cool. And then you all know the person, and these are all the same person in different phases and different days. We all know the person who went to the CD store with $20 in their pocket. They couldn't buy 20 CDs, but they looked at 40 CDs and took 2 hours doing it, reading credits and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't buy shit. And then the other person who didn't want to go to the mall got up, went to the mall, went right to the store, was rude to the person who worked there because they didn't want to be there no way, bought some shoes because they had a hole in their shoe yesterday in an accident, got what they needed and left. Those are all the three realms right there. The person that bought the product, who had it on their mind what they wanted and went and got it. The person who didn't buy the product and spent all day learning, went to the mall where they could get it and wanted it and didn't get it and left. And the person who went to the mall, didn't go into the music store or the shoe shop or no shops, but walked around, maybe ate a hot dog at their house before they left and went to the mall and walked around all the restaurants and walked around and left. So, and that can be the same person on any given day. And so that's the proof that this is the numbers game, because these things are happening, and some people meditate. So they want the life to where no one will know them. Now, what is truth? What is truth? And what am I actually saying? The true form of what you're doing is harmonic and fair. It is fair. There. The true form of what you're doing is fair. And it is fair trade. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about fair trade. We're not talking about sales. We're not talking about commerce. We're not talking about keeping tabs, credit, loans. We are talking about fair trade. And the truth of the matter is that it is fair. And if someone tries to put you in that first realm to where you're thinking about them all the time and they don't know you, and that's their strategy or that's their plan, that is a fair trade. If Beyonce or Tina Snowflake, fucking one of them bad bitches from Houston, you feel me? Yeah. Don't make me do it twice. All right. If one of them, you feel me, got their ass up out the house, came to the stage, took a picture, put it all over the mall, and you was like, damn, that bitch is bad, you might appreciate that. You might like not knowing her. You know, you might know all girls are this way or that way, and you might like the fact that you don't know her and that she's posing this way or that way, and you can get a quick peek, you know. So that might appease to you. So that trade is what? Fair. Just like online, on some streams, girls might be on there. On some streams, it's both ways. They can see your camera, you can see theirs. On other streams, you can just see the girls and they can't see you. Depending on the level, depending on the reality, that trade is going to be fair. Sometimes the girl might go on the one where you can just see her, and she may not want to see the other people. And sometimes, you know, she may go to where she wants to see the other people. The point of what I'm saying is that these three realms exist. And that because they do exist and that they can't quantify each other out and to become one or in debt to the other, that means that they exist fairly. The looking part, the learning part, and the loving part, the liking part. When you liking it, that's a better word. But it's really love because this is your fucking life. You can't like your way through fucking life. You gotta love this shit. But it really starts at that's an easy way to say it. When you ponder shit in your mind and hold it in your mind, you really like to. Yeah. So, and if you ponder problems, you would like to find the solution, you know. So you have joy in the way you spend your time at all times, even if it's not just seeking a solution. So the point is that the trade is fair. All trade is fair because they exist, because they all exist together in a harmonic fashion, to where they have their own space and they communicate with one another and they trade and exchange at different rates. Sometimes, you know, like I said, somebody may want you to get to think of them only and not get to know them. Sometimes, this is, okay, remember when the girl would shake her butt on you dancing, but she wouldn't slow dance with you. Oh, I don't know you like that, but you just got done grinding on me for 2 minutes, but you won't let me hold you around the waist for 1 minute. So that might be okay with some dudes because the trade is fair. The exchange is fair. The trade is fair because we go back and forth between those different three realms as interest, trading the interest rate. Oh, you can go fuck this girl, but you can't be a part of her life. you got to go creep and fuck her real quick, but you can't meet her daddy or her, her mama, no, go to her church or nothing. Oh, this girl, you can get to know her. You met her at church. You just shook her dad's hands, but you can't fuck her. You always hanging out with her at the picnic, but you know what I'm saying, this and that. You can't. So whatever deal you go for, or whatever spot, they say get in where you fit in, whatever spot you end up getting in, is going to be fair. Because you have three controls to alter. You can alter your public persona, you can alter your inner circle, that's people who know you, and you can alter your actions. You could turn your phone off for one day just to get the interest rate to go up on the other two realms of people who see you and people who know you. So you drive the interest rate up on the other ones by making the market go down on the others, on the other two, or on one to increase the other two. It's up to you how you trade. You can stop trading on these other two realms to really increase the value of the realm of activity. And you could shut down activity and looking to spike up the interest on learning. So it's all fair trade. And so that's the thesis of my study, is that trade is fair because of the three realms and the three rings of commerce.